Summit 2020, friends. I'm Jen Consalvo.
And I'm Frank Gruber, and we're the co-CEOs of Established and this week's hosts of the Start of the Year Summit.
Very excited.
Thank you for joining us for the 8th year of our Start of the Year Summit. We hope you've had a fantastic day so far. There's been a lot of interesting stuff happening. We've had some great conversations with Mike Evans and Meredith Feynman, and we just finished up with Rohit Bhargava. Some great stuff. And then we've also had a lot of AMAs with investors and thought leaders, and even some PR pros as well. So a lot of great stuff happening today, and hopefully you've enjoyed it.
So how can people join in the conversation if they want to?
Well, obviously they can tune in here, and there's a chat, and you can be a part of that conversation. But also you can share your thoughts and maybe some photos or some of the quotes from some of the conversations today on Twitter. So we're out on Twitter, and you can use the hashtag Startup of Year and share some of your favorite things that you've learned or thought about, or maybe even a selfie, for all prosperity. Yeah, right. And then obviously share it out and use the hashtag, and we'd love to see it and obviously interact.
So there's a ton going on, but I want to step back just for a second. So if you remember way back when COVID-19 changed our world,
like
back
10
in
years ago.
March, 10 years ago, we quickly decided to move to producing and presenting online events where we knew we could bring the most value to as many of you as possible, no matter where you are, what you're doing. And since then, we've hosted 4 pop-up pitch competitions. So we had one focused on female founders, Black founders, US veteran founders, and our 10th annual South by Southwest competition, where each winner from each of those events received an automatic top 100 spot here at Summit. So you can catch special recaps of each of those events during Summit. So on each of the 3 days, we'll be showing recaps. So make sure to check the schedule and check them out.
Yeah, so in addition to the great conversations, talks, and event recaps, we've also had a chance to, we've always done this in person. So this is new, right? We're in a virtual world here, trying to connect people. And a lot of the times in the energy that we had brought together with people in person was making sure that they were connecting with the right people that were at the event. So folks like industry leaders, investors, and ecosystem builders, we used to do, in-person meetings. And so we're actually still doing that with our Summit's curated office hours, which is basically similar to that, what we did last year in Memphis, where we curated 500 meetings and made matches to the startups from the top 100 and connected them with different
It was people. So cool. Just walking around a room, seeing all these meetings taking place. Yeah. But it'll still buzz online. So of course, throughout the summit, you'll see rounds of pitches from some of our top 100 companies who are competing. And we love sharing a bit about who's competing. For example, over half of our startups have a female founder on their founding team, which is fantastic. And 74% of our teams have a founder of color, which is unbelievable. And close to 20% of our companies have a military veteran on their founding team. We've spent a bit of time getting to know these emerging companies, and I can tell you that their energy is contagious and their potential is off the charts. So you can learn more about each one of them. And don't forget to cast your vote for your favorites in each category at est.us/poll. Again, we want to hear from you. Who's your favorite at est.us/poll.
And your votes count. So that's great. And we'll leave it at that. So we can dive into the pitches here. Before we do that, though, I want to thank some sponsors with like .us. It's the top level domain. They're sponsoring the .us Veteran Startup of the Year program this year, which is a new category. We're actually doing a $10,000 non-dilutive cash prize and a free domain offer as well. So if you're out there and you've got an idea, you're thinking of something you want to start, or maybe you even have a domain already and you want to shorten it, .us is a great place to do that. We're going to be able to give you a free domain right now. So just, we did with Established. So we've established.us and est.us. And if you go to est.us/summitus, you can go find out about that offer and get your domain registered right away.
You'll be in good company.
Yeah, well, and zoom.us is another big one. There's a lot of great .us companies. But we're really excited about the .us veteran program this year, and you can catch it at the summit here. We're going to be, obviously giving the presentation and the winner of that award here on Wednesday. So you get a chance to see that award ceremony. Another great partner and sponsor of the event here today is Cloud 303. Many of you are probably familiar with Amazon Web Services and their cloud. And so we've actually got some certified solution architects who are implementing solutions for the AWS cloud. They're going to be offering a online live ask me anything, right? So ask a cloud expert, and that'll be happening on Tuesday. So you might want to tune into that as well. So thank you very much to our sponsors and supporters.
All right, and in addition to sponsors, the Established team also works with a solid network of community partners. These are entrepreneurship support organizations, companies, investors, and other leading organizations that elevate high potential founders. So you'll hear moments of recognition throughout our 3 top 100 pitch events, recognizing these startup ambassadors and investment partners that helped many of these top 100 companies get to the main stage. The first 2 we want to thank are Hello Alice and Next Gen Venture Partners. Hello Alice is a free service connecting entrepreneurs and small business owners to curated resources, experts, and opportunities to help them launch and grow their companies. Next Gen Venture Partners, which is very near and dear to our hearts.
Because we were some of the first angels in that group.
Yes, right? Is a network-driven venture firm that's a great partner to Startup of the Year and to our founders.
Right. So it's time to introduce our great panel of judges. First, let's welcome Phil Nadel from Forefront Ventures. Phil served as a pop-up panelist at one of our other previous events and also a finals judge last year. Welcome back, Phil.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me again.
All right, thanks so much. Next up, we'd like to welcome back Lesa Mitchell from TechStars, who was also a finals judge last year with us in Memphis. Welcome, Lesa.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Lesa. All right, and now let's welcome Mac Conwell. He's an investor in his new fund, RareBreed Ventures, out of Baltimore, Maryland. And I just have a little fun fact. Mac was once part of a startup that was featured at one of our past events. So he's technically an alumni.
He's a Startup of the Year alumni. That's great.
Yes.
Welcome back, Mac.
Welcome, Mac. All right, and we also want to welcome Erica Minnihan of RareBreed Ventures out of New York, another longtime judge and friend of Startup of the Year. Welcome,
Hi,
Erica.
everyone. Great to see you guys.
Great to see you. And last, but certainly not least, welcome Troy Henikoff of Math Ventures based out of Chicago, Illinois. Chi-town. Another longtime friend of our startup events. Welcome, Troy.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It's awesome to see you again.
All right. Thank you, judges. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. Please put your microphones on mute until you're ready to ask a question, and then remember to unmute so that we don't have to ever say, please unmute. Because I'm sure you've done that a few thousand times in the last.
As we all have.
Right, 6 months. All right, so let's get started. This is how we're going to get going. We're going to have 17 companies, which is a lot, but we're going to get through them pretty quickly. We've got 2-minute pitches and 3 minutes of Q&A and a little bit of shuffle time in between. So the judging platform you should have and be ready to go, and we'll be asking you for the thumbs up if you're ready, and we'll move on. But we've also got one special friend that'll be joining us. We're super excited about. I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm a lover of anything llama or alpaca. So we've got one of our friends, Bessie, joining us. She's been with us a little while now. She's one of our best employees, I'd have to say. She does a great job.
Hey, no disrespect to anyone else.
No. But she just does her, she's a great timer. So welcome. She's gonna be our screen timer, and she'll be sharing a little bit of a countdown so that folks know that it's time to kind of move on.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I hope to see Bessie a lot. I'm sure the startup founders don't.
No.
Yes.
So who's up first?
Oh yeah. Sorry, we're gonna get started. Right. So I was still thinking about the llamas. Okay. So first up, we've got CherryCircle from Austin, Texas. Let's watch their pitch.
Hello, my name is Yash Sabharwal, and I am the CEO and a co-founder at CherryCircle Software, developing novel solutions for the pharma industry. The pharma industry is in the midst of a revolution, developing truly innovative therapies and manufacturing processes to treat the most challenging diseases. However, the industry continues to be hampered by poor digital maturity, affecting the manufacturing of its existing products and new products in development. This problem has only gotten worse with the advent of the COVID crisis and associated supply chain disruptions. I discovered this problem when I was managing process development at my last startup, Xeris Pharmaceuticals. When I left in 2016, I decided to address this problem by building a world-class team, many of whom are veterans of industry bringing their pharma, software, and manufacturing experience to bear. The QBD Vision platform is a structured repository designed to help companies aggregate, organize, and track their information, which can then be used for manufacturing decision support and to grow process intelligence and understanding over time, all with the goal of accelerating therapies to market. Our long-term vision is to consolidate product lifecycle management, quality, and project management under one environment. Our business model is an annual subscription model targeted to the 1 million potential global users in the life sciences space with 3 different tiers of licensing. CherryCircle was started in 2017 with pilot customers being acquired in 2019. 2020 saw revenue traction with $250K signed in contracts, 2 of which include top 25 pharma customers. We have raised $4.6 million in funding over the lifetime of the company. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to your questions.
Josh, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep. All right. So, judges, do you have any questions? Who's the first to ask a question here?
I have a question.
All right. Who was that? Okay, go ahead. Jump in. Yep.
Josh?
Yes.
Yeah, jump on in.
Yep. Thanks for the pitch. So you've raised 4.6 million to date over 3 years. That's a lot of money for what appears to be a vertical SaaS company. Can you tell us how you use those proceeds? How were they invested?
Yeah, well, the out of that 4.6, we just completed a $2.1 million raise. So up to date, we've raised about $2.5 million, and a lot of that was gone in product development, a lot of sales and marketing, and there's a fair amount of education that has to go on with the market as well too. The pharma industry understands all the concepts that are around our software, but they've never seen all that together in one platform. So so getting out there and educating them about how this is much better than Excel and Word and other tools that they're using is one of the things that we have to do. So we engage in a lot of thought leadership as well on the marketing side.
Okay, Erica, I saw your hand fly up.
Yeah, I have a question. So, it's really wonderful to educate some of these industries about how they can better use technologies. But I know you said that you have already had some clients and you have 250,000 in signed contracts. What can you tell us about what your customers have actually said to you about the value of the product?
Yeah, well, they've actually, sort of told us that some of the very basic things that we thought would be value propositions are the things that are driving their decisions right now. One key thing being that their information is disseminated all over their organization. It sits in documents, spreadsheets, emails, and so forth. And so just the very first step of moving from that unstructured mode to a structured repository is one of the key value propositions. And they have to do that before they can really move on to the other value propositions. And so that's really what they've said is one of the key drivers, right off the bat, is being able to get all their information in one platform and to start to organize it, aggregate it, contextualize it, so that they can use it going forward.
All right, who's got the next question? Lisa, go ahead.
I spent way too many years of my life in this industry. Can you tell me who's your key buyer? Who and where does the buyer sit?
Yeah, the key buyers right now sit in the manufacturing organization of a pharma company. So these are the people that are running process development, running technical operations, running process validation. These are the people that struggle from a day-to-day basis with, seeing where the information is and where it's coming from, and transferring that technology as it moves from one phase to the next.
And do you have to integrate with any of the logistics and supply chain people?
No, not right now, because they're basically using Excel and Word right now as their primary repositories for this information. So we're coming in with a more structured solution that meets the data integrity standards that are now becoming pretty prevalent in the industry. So,
all right, time is up. Great job. It's always tough to go first. Thank you so much, Josh.
Thank you for your great questions.
All right, that was CherryCircle. Judges, you got a chance to judge. You've got your forms. Give me the thumbs up when you're ready, and we'll move on to the next. Oh, we got the thumbs up already. No thumbs up. That was a false alarm. All right. 1 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. All right. 3 thumbs up. I think we're good to go.
My thumb's been up.
Oh, your thumbs up. Okay, we're ready to go. Jen, take it away.
All right. Next up, we have Clear Child Psychology from Broomfield, Colorado. They come to us through Springtime Ventures, an investment partner helping entrepreneurs access friendly venture capital. Welcome. Let's hear their pitch.
Hi, I'm Dr. Marcy Willard with Clear Child Psychology. We are providing assessment and long-term clinical guidance for families impacted by autism. Meet Kate. Kate is a well-educated, well-resourced mom who was looking for help for her older daughter. She had concerns about her development, and she went from doctor to doctor and got no clear advice or direction for years. She called us, and in a matter of a week, we had her daughter diagnosed, and in a matter of a month, we had her in life-changing therapies. And Kate is not alone. There are 1.4 million families who share those same concerns. So how do we help Kate, and how do we make money? Well, first off, we provide an assessment that helps her understand her child's strengths and needs. Next, we provide a roadmap using our proprietary validated assessment. We also provide coaching and advocacy, which helps families find a different path forward and a better outcome for their child. This is our team. Our team includes experts in scaling software startups, marketing, healthcare technology for children, and clinical child psychology. There are 1.4 million families paying $24,000 a year. We guide them to the therapies and resources that will help their child, saving them wasted money, time, and suffering. There are hundreds of clinicians using our tools in dozens of states. Every year, our country loses the potential of so many incredible children. We bring clarity and direction to these families in weeks, not years. This allows them to chart a course toward their best possible lives.
And welcome to the stage, Marcy Willard.
Thank you.
And Betsy, let's start your timer.
All right.
And judges, go ahead and jump in with questions.
Hey, Marcy, this is Troy. It was a great pitch. Thank you. I love what you're doing to help the children. The question I have is around customer acquisition. How do these parents even know that you exist? How are you getting out there and making them aware of this? And what does that cost?
Yes, we are doing a massive marketing push right now. We hired an incredible team that is doing all of our creative, our branding. We rebranded a lot of our website and those kinds of things. We have a network of clinicians and schools who are already referring us a lot of business because we have thought leadership in this space. We are also reaching a ton of families through social media networks that we've joined and that we provide regular content to those groups. And so between those and the really big push on social and paid search and advertising, we are reaching these families.
So what has your average CAC been? What do you project being forward?
About $200 per customer.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quick question. So you mentioned, that you're kind of going through a DTC social media marketing model. So these are people who have not yet received a diagnosis from the doctors, because I would think that, it might be interesting to partner with doctors to get your product in front of them.
Yes, good point. And we agree. So we are targeting initially families who don't have a diagnosis because their need is greater. But you are absolutely right that doctors actually would really like this help. And so we do have some partnership with doctors that we're building right now. And they are considered clinicians and they have access to use our platform as a way to connect with them.
Marcy, hi, do you have any proof of efficacy for the solution? Have you done any studies, third-party studies to prove the efficacy?
Yes, so we have several pilots going on. There's an exciting one going on at the University of Colorado right now. We also did our own pilot and tested our scale, and it was found to be 98% consistent with the experts that made their own diagnosis using the old traditional methods, and 96% in terms of the autism scale and the reliability of it.
But in terms of helping them with their autism and helping them to cope with it.
Oh, yes, I didn't understand your question. Yes, so with the families, what we're doing right now is we're measuring their progress using our tool. We don't have enough longitudinal data to answer that question right now, that's in the works, that we're studying their progress because we have a progress monitoring tool built into our assessment tool.
Thank you.
Lisa, we couldn't hear you. I think you're muted.
Oh, I'm not.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Marcy.
And we're out of time, so let's keep it real tight.
Marcy, how many patients have you touched?
We have touched over 100 so far. And then we have a couple hundred in our clinician network.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Thank you, Marcy. Judges, I'm going to give you a moment to get your scores in order. And just get, oh, cool, I see a thumbs up already.
So we should mention that Bessie is actually also from Colorado.
Oh, that's right.
She's a Colorado llama, and she joins us obviously every pitch. So.
Yep. All right.
We work with a remote team.
Looking good, Phil. You good? All right.
Yep.
Next up.
All right. Next up, going back to Colorado. And that's why I mentioned that. We've got Cloud Campaign from Boulder, Colorado. Cloud Campaign is an alum of Boomtown, which is an accelerator and one of our community partners. So let's watch their pitch.
Hey everyone, my name is Ryan Bourne and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Cloud Campaign. Cloud Campaign is a digital platform that allows marketing agencies to increase the number of brands they can manage and charge a higher retainer with a leaner team. Social media management is messy for marketing agencies. You have team members all working on different tasks for multiple clients, and this results in wasted time and effort, but even worse, untoward errors, such as posting the wrong content to the wrong client's account. A typical marketing agency has anywhere from 20 to 30 clients that they're managing. Cloud Campaign solves this problem by bringing all of those clients into a single dashboard. Each client gets their own separate workspace, so there's never a risk of posting the wrong content to the wrong account. In addition, we have streamlined workflows and automation built into the platform, allowing the marketing agency to increase the number of brands they can manage with that same team. We charge $199 per month to access the platform and then $25 per client, thus building alignment with the marketing agency. And we're currently doing this today. We're generating just over $1 million in annual run rate with about 425 customers, growing by about 11% month over month. You might be wondering, how big is this market? Well, the reality is 84% of Fortune 500 hire one or more marketing agencies, and about 80% of SMBs hire either a marketing agency or a freelancer. And this translates to about 100,000 marketing agencies in the US and Canada alone, and 4 million freelance marketers, with that number rapidly growing every year. We are the team to tackle this problem. My background in computer engineering and contribution to 2 successful startups has allowed us to get a product to market quickly. And my co-founder Ross's background in marketing and sales has allowed us to get to market quickly and to scale to $1 million run rate in just a few years. We are Cloud Campaign, and we help marketing agencies scale. Thank you so much.
Let's welcome to the stage Ryan Bourne.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. All right, questions. Who's got the first one? Jump on in.
Hey, Ryan. I'm going to jump in if you don't mind. It looks like a cool product, and that was a good pitch. Just walk me through the numbers. You said you have like 84,000 MRR for 425 customers. So that works out to about $200 a month. It doesn't seem like you're charging for each brand they manage yet. What's the story there?
Hi, Phil. Good question. Yeah, so about 150 of our customers are actually freelancers or individual brands. And so those don't follow the traditional business model that we do have. About 270 of our customers are these marketing agencies that are fall into that $199 price point plus $25 per brand.
So the freelancers and brands themselves pay less?
Exactly. They pay $39 per workspace that they need. And most of these freelancers and individual brands that are using our platform come to us organically or via referral. So we don't spend any sales efforts or any marketing dollars on them.
Thank you.
Hi, Ryan, great pitch. I was wondering from a technology perspective, what do you think it is that you guys have built that is sort of really unique to the market and defensible?
Thanks, Erica. Yeah, there's a couple different things. One part of it is the glue between the agency and the brand itself. So there's a lot of different layers that we've built that allow the agency to communicate with their clients in a more seamless fashion. There's also a lot of automation that we built into the platform, whether it's creating the content. We actually use machine learning to write automatic captions for the agencies so they can manage more brands at scale. There's more sophisticated scheduling that we do as well, using all of the analytics from the social media accounts. That way the agency can just drag and drop content on the calendar. And with all that data, it'll automatically schedule it at the best time. So it's using a few different areas, a few different technologies to make life easier for the agency.
Go ahead, Troy.
Ryan, Like, what's the thing that is most compelling when you have a potential customer on the phone or you're talking to them on a Zoom and you give them a part of your pitch? What's the part of the pitch that just makes them go, I need that now?
Hey, Troy. So the biggest thing is really risk mitigation. Honestly, we've heard this story many times where an agency has an account manager that accidentally posts the wrong content to the wrong client account because they're using a consumer tool. So there's obviously a lot of different tools that are in this social media space. All of them are going direct to individual brands or consumers, and they just aren't built in a way that allows the agency to have these separate workspaces where they can assign account manager to just the clients that they have that they're working with. And so it's just a huge risk mitigation aspect. I mean, the other part, of course, is automation. So allowing them to increase the number of brands they can manage by about 50% with the same team.
Great. Thank you.
I think we're out of time. Thanks so much, Ryan. Really appreciate it. Great questions, judges. Get those scores in. We'll get that going. And thanks so much, Ryan. All right. Wow.
We're rolling.
We're rolling. Yeah. Great company so far.
You know, one of the most interesting things as our judges jot down their scores about Startup of the Year is that we welcome all categories. So you're going to see a tremendous mix of companies pitch today and tomorrow and the next day.
Right.
All right. I saw a bunch of thumbs up, so we're going to get rolling.
All
right. Next up, we have Finmark from Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's hear their pitch.
Hi, I'm Rami, co-founder and CEO of Finmark. And Finmark is financial planning software for startups, making it simple for companies to manage their runway, forecasting, and cash. Just like Carta moves startup cap tables out of spreadsheets, we want to do the same for financial models. Trying to manage your business off of an Excel sheet is painful. Founders don't have the background to build good financial models. Instead, they rely on generic templates that aren't tailored to their business. And founders have so many other priorities that they never get around to keeping the model up to date, making it effectively useless. What's worse is that it's very easy to make mistakes in Excel that go undiscovered for months or years. For startups, all of this can mean the difference between thriving and dying. Not only does Finmark make building a custom financial model TurboTax easy, but we also automate keeping your model up to date through our integrations. Above all, we provide insights that only the best CFOs previously had. By benchmarking every metric and input across our platform, we can tell companies where they stand relative to their peers. Finmark is a tool I wish I had in my last startup, Distill Networks, which I founded, scaled to $25 million in revenue, and sold for over $100 million. My co-founders and I are seasoned professionals that have held leadership roles at Microsoft, Citrix, Red Hat, and more. And since leaving the corporate world, we've been serial entrepreneurs that have raised over $80 million in venture capital and seen multiple exits. And with hundreds of thousands of startups that need us, we have a $1.2 billion market opportunity before even competing for enterprise business. We launched our beta in July and already have over 400 companies that have signed up just by word of mouth. And Finmark started as a Y Combinator-backed company and is now funded by a coalition of 13 of the most prominent venture firms, including Bessemer, Greenvisor Capital, Idea Fund Partners, Altair Ventures, and more. Thank you. We're Finmark.
All right, welcome to the stage, Rami Assad. Let's start the Q&A, and Bessie, let's get the timer going. Go ahead, Phil.
Hey, Rami, Finmark looks really cool. I like it. I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about the competition. It seems to me I've seen similar solutions out there in the marketplace. Maybe you can talk a little bit about the competitive landscape.
Yeah, when I was looking at a company to start, I didn't want to go into a crowded field. I looked around and talked to a bunch of founders, and 99.9% of people I talked to are using Excel to manage their financial model. And that's who our main competition is. It does look like there's a lot of new entrants that are coming into the space, but most of them are in beta or pre-product. We do have a first mover advantage that we're out in the market. We now have hundreds of customers, and we're moving pretty quick.
You say you're out in the market. I noticed your site says get early access. Why is that still on there if the product's available in market?
Yeah, so we actually gate who can use our product. We've started off tailoring our product to early stage companies, and early stage companies have less sophisticated financial modeling needs. And so we want to make sure that we have an amazing product experience for every person. So if you're a later stage company, we know that you're not a great fit for us yet. You will be next year, and we put you into a holding pattern. If you're an early stage company, based on the questions that you answer, we bring you into an automated onboarding flow.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Troy.
Hey, Rami, good to see you. You know that financial modeling is near and dear to my heart, something that I talk a lot about with TechStars companies. So I love to see what you're doing. What I want to understand is, how are you going to win? What is the thing that you have that is going to take you from 400 to 4,000 to 40,000 companies? Customer acquisition. How are you going to get all those companies?
Yeah, one of the key things that we're trying to do is bring transparency to financial models. So we're making it really easy for founders to share their financial models with their investors and their board. By doing that, we're also giving investors a portfolio level view of all of their different companies, letting them run reports across that. We're hoping that that creates a network effect similar to Carta, in which investors then ask the rest of their companies to start using Finmark because they want to have the access to all of the data in one place. That pushes it back down to other portfolio companies who then share it up with their other investors, and the flywheel starts turning. That's a big part of our go-to-market motion.
Love the network effects.
All right.
Any last questions?
Yeah, we only have 20 seconds, but I totally agree. Huge need for this. I actually have a portfolio company that I was just doing research to recommend, and I saw a competitor called Plan Guru, which appears to already be in the market with a similar product. So I'd love to just know, from a competitive advantage standpoint, what do you think is really going to differentiate you versus these other new entrants that you're seeing?
A lot of the new companies that I'm seeing, and even some existing ones, there were some older companies that are in the market. A lot of them come from CFOs that felt the pain of using Excel, and they wanted to create a tool that they could better use. We're approaching it a little bit differently at Finmark. I come from an ex-CEO who didn't have access to the model. I had to rely on my CFO to give me that information, and we're making it more accessible for founders. We're really simplifying the process down. So even if you don't have a financial degree, even if you're not a seasoned CFO, you can make a financial model in under 30 minutes in our software and keep it up to date automatically. That simplicity, I think, is going to resonate with founders earlier on and allow us to grow and scale and capture companies much earlier than some of our competition.
All right. Thank you, Rami.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Judges, give you a moment. Enter your scores.
Jen, we know you love those Excel spreadsheets.
I do.
They're a lot of fun.
If you look back at my company, I moved to Google Docs, and I have from probably like 2010 through 2020, and I have them all lined up in my folder, color coded.
Thank goodness, because that's like the polar opposite of me.
I love products that help serve other entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So, all right, we all good? Excellent.
All right.
Who's up?
Next up, this is our 5th startup to pitch today, in case you weren't keeping track. It's Hera Health Solutions from Memphis, Tennessee. They actually are an alum of the 0 to 510 with StartCo. So if you remember, StartCo was actually a premier partner last year and co-hosted the Startup of the Year event with us in Memphis, Tennessee. So let's welcome Hera Health with their pitch.
My name is Aditya Matthew. I'm CEO of Hera Health Solutions, and we're redefining drug delivery starting in contraception. Today, more than 1.7 billion people need to take a prescription drug daily. And now more than ever before, drug-eluting implants are one of the solutions taking the medical market by storm. In the field of contraception, there exists a more than $800 million annual product on the market. A small matchstick-sized rod that's inserted underneath the arm and eludes contraception until it needs to be removed. But how do they remove these implants? Huge issues surrounding bruising, scarring, and unfortunately even migration of the implant upon this removal procedure. The solution is Hera's platform bioerodible drug delivery implant. Meet our first product, Ucontra, the world's first ever biodegradable contraceptive implant. This patent-pending technology utilizes already FDA-approved materials to deliver generic drug, offering a safe, effective, and flexible option. But contraception is only the beginning. We have already pinpointed other applications in opioid addiction, hormone therapy, and even vaccinations for our technology. A total addressable market over $800 billion. Our team, composed of biomedical engineers, a drug delivery pioneer, an FDA regulatory expert, and a former pharmaceutical executive, we're truly proud of our progress till date. Partnering with some of the leading healthcare VCs and organizations, including the UN and the Gates Foundation, we have now finalized our FDA-certified product manufacturing and completed in vitro trials to be ready for full FDA approval. We're now gearing up for our Series A round as we seek to launch Ucontra domestically through already established pipelines and existing reimbursement codes, as well as with eyes on the international market through subsidized sales partnerships. Join us on our journey to redefine long-acting drug delivery.
Hey guys.
There you go.
Can you guys see me, hear me well?
All good.
Articula, is that Articula, right?
That's right, yep.
Articula Matthew, welcome.
Great to see you guys again.
You too, definitely. All right, so we've got Bessie. Is Bessie running? Bessie's getting ready to go, and let's go, judges.
All good.
Who
Go
wants
ahead,
to jump
Lesa.
in? Lisa, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm sorry I didn't see the slide. Do you guys have to get 510K approval, or what is your approval route? And do you
Right, yeah, so we are actually a 505(b)(2) combination device. And so we are well along in that pathway. We actually closed our round at the end of last year. So this entire year has been sort of, gear in terms of our preclinical trials. And so that's been going really well. We're looking forward to our submission close to March of next year.
Okay, and is that only on the current product that you're focused on?
Yeah. So that is going to be on the first product. So that's the Ucontra product, which is a 12 to 16 month contraceptive long-acting implantable, which I have right here. So this is a working implant that it's undergoing trials at the moment.
And what's the competitive landscape? And then I'll be quiet.
Yeah, so what we've learned is this is actually a booming market space. And what we're really excited about is that we are sort of one of the first to market in terms of being a combination product. Like I mentioned in the pitch, we are one of the first technologies out there that are utilizing already FDA approved materials and utilizing generic drug. We actually are close partners with our advisory partners with some of the other ongoing researches as well as startup companies. But the main difference between our competitors and us are the fact that they are mostly PMA products or 10 to 15 year new drug applications, whereas we are utilizing already approved materials for our technology.
Hi, can I jump in?
Hey.
Hi, so I noticed it said that the price was $800. And, I understand that compared to, and hey, good to see you again, compared to the, existing solution, which is, putting something in, taking it out and putting in a new one. If the arm still has to be open to put in a new one, are you creating material savings on the procedure?
Yeah, absolutely. So the price point is actually very strategically put in place because we are actually looking to align with the already existing reimbursement CPT code. And so that billable procedure right now at the moment is a $800 to $1,000. So which includes the implantation as well as the lifespan of the implant, whereas the exertion explantation procedure is not covered. And what's even more advantageous about our product in terms of a pricing model is that we're able to utilize the same sort of trocar simple insertion procedure that the current implants can use, completely eliminating the need for that explantation as our big proponent.
All right, thank you so much. Great questions. That was Hera Health. Judges, get your scores in there. Give me the thumbs up. I see Troy's ready to go. And we're ready for our next startup here in 1 second. Just got one little swaparoo here.
I've been so impressed. It's probably been the past 3 or 4 years we've had incredible healthcare technologies come through startup of the year.
Yep, it's been awesome.
Very
All right,
exciting.
got a few more judges. Thumbs up. You ready to rock and roll? Thumbs up.
All right, we're going to jump in. Next up, we have Hubley Surgical, all the way from San Francisco, California. They're an alumni of our partners at Mass Challenge, which is an accelerator with 2,500 alumni startups and over $6 billion in funding raised over the years. Pretty incredible organization. Let's hear their pitch.
The most common neurosurgery fails 20% of the time. Hubley Surgical has developed the iPhone of medical drilling to fix that. We are 2 neurosurgeons with MBAs, 2 lifelong medical device engineers and a software engineer, with a combined 50 years of experience in building early-stage startups. The most common neurosurgery is the skull puncture. It's performed 200,000 times a year in the US, and 20% of these result in stroke, hemorrhage, brain infection, and death. Now that actually makes sense when you learn that no matter where you go, even the best of the best neurosurgeons are using this hand-crank drill to perform skull punctures at the bedside. Hubley is designed for both emergency and elective surgeries. Just like the current solution, it comes in a kit with other needed components. We have multiple patent applications filed for which Hubley owns 100% of the IP. But most importantly, the Hubley safety features will save thousands of lives every year. And here's how. Surgeons can accidentally drill past the skull and plunge into brain tissue. Hubley's plunge prevention guarantees the drill bit automatically retracts. Surgeons poke 3 holes into the brain to get the right catheter placement. Based on 5 NIH studies proving the Gajar catheter guide technique, Hubley could reduce that average to just 1 hole. We're selling directly to hospitals, starting with our partners. First, we'll sell the drill designed specifically for skull punctures and emergencies, then a reusable version for elective neurosurgeries, and then a version for orthopedics. So our total addressable market for the US is $8.4 billion. All in all, Hubley has the team, the IP, and the product validation. We have grants from the National Science Foundation and the Chilean government. We've already raised $350,000 to achieve FDA clearance, and we're looking for more. So if you're like us and you don't want this hand crank drill going into your brain, come talk to us.
All right, welcome Casey Grage. Let's roll with the Q&A now.
Hey Casey, I have a question for you. You mentioned the team. The team looks impressive. I'm wondering, does anyone on the team have experience with sales to hospitals?
Yes, my co-founder, Dr. Amit Ayer, he's currently a neurosurgeon at Stanford. He's previously founded medical device company Rayos, which is a neurosurgical diagnostic company.
But did he sell himself to, did he sell his previous product to hospitals? Was he the one who did it?
He was not a sales representative, but as a neurosurgeon, he facilitated partnerships to create paid pilots.
How's it doing? How you doing, Casey? It's great to meet you.
You as well.
My question is, talk to us a little bit about your competitors in the space. So full disclosure, I'm based in Baltimore. I'm really close with folks at Johns Hopkins. I've seen several other devices claiming to do something similar. Yep. So tell me what makes you different.
Yep, so there's really 2 markets here. There's the bedside space and the OR space. At the bedside, the hand crank drill that I keep with me has 100% of the market. This is what's used outside of the OR. This is what we're trying to displace. This is our beachhead market. We believe we're also competitive in the operating room because ultimately the devices there, while they're amazing at ease of use, and these are really big players in the space like Medtronic and Stryker, they lack really basic hardware safety features, which we provide, such as a catheter guide, a drill guide, again, to maintain stability, to mitigate the number of holes poked into the brain, and then also hardware, entirely mechanical drill bit auto retraction. The current devices that are used for these neurosurgeries, the only thing that comes close to plunge prevention is a drill bit by Micromar. All of that technology is in the drill bit itself, and so it's huge and really clunky, and it can't be used with most procedures which require a specific type of drill bit. And so with our product, all of that auto retraction tech is up in the drill itself. And so it can be used with any drill bit and across procedures.
Go ahead, Troy.
Really nice presentation. I love the ending. It was awesome. But I'm curious, how you're going to go to market, because companies like Stryker, which you talked about, have a huge sales force that has inroads into these hospitals and is entering those hospitals every single week and has those relationships. Right. Are you going to go direct, or are you going to go through a channel? What are your thoughts about taking this to market?
We're starting off going direct against the bedside, this one, the Integra drill, because we believe that we are way better. We're confident that it's a much less competitive space. We'll go direct and rack up our revenues in those areas for the first couple of years in the bedside space, and then we'll ultimately seek a corporate partnership for the competing in the OR space.
All right, time's up. Thank you so much, Casey.
Great job.
Thank you.
Judges, get your scores in. Let us know when you're ready. Wow, you see things like that, especially when you're not in, in that setting every day and you're not used to seeing those types of tools and procedures. It's really eye-opening.
It sure is. I try to.
I had him squirming the whole time next to me.
Yeah, it's cringeworthy, but definitely something we need.
Yep. And we'll see a few. Actually this year we have a few different medical devices in this competition.
Yes.
Okay, I'm seeing thumbs up. Scores in.
Scores in.
All right.
All right. Next up, we've got Inclusology out of Los Angeles, California. Let's watch their pitch.
Attrition due to employee turnover is costing employers $64 billion a year in the U.S. My name is Dr. Cheryl Ingram, and I am the CEO and founder who is building the solution to solve that problem. Our target customer is the Chief Diversity Officer and Director of HR within a company who are working to solve issues of inequity that may be happening to employees based on their identity. Now, compared to our competitors, we are outshining the market. We are the first technology of its kind to have automated benchmarking, a library of assessments for employees based on a global diversity and inclusion benchmark, and we also build automated strategic planning within our system. After just 9 months of testing our second round of beta, the results are in. We are decreasing employee turnover rate by 75%. We are decreasing discrimination complaints within companies by 15%. And overall, we are increasing employee engagement in DEI. Our total addressable market is $17 billion. Our actual market is $700 billion, but we believe that if we just address 2% of this market, we'll still be a multi-billion-dollar company. Now, at launch, we are going to charge employers $7 per employee per month. Our traction over time shows that we are making significant improvements. In the first year of beta, we made $10,500. And right now, we are on track to make $750,000 in secure revenue. And now I'm going to pass it off to our COO, Jillian Love, to tell you a little bit about our tech team.
Our team is highly technical with over 40 plus combined years in engineering and data science and has built the latest AI and SaaS technologies for companies like Salesforce and IBM.
Thank you for listening to our story. We look forward to hearing from you. You can contact me at Cheryl@Inclusology.com. What's up, everybody?
Hey, Cheryl.
Who's going to jump in?
I'm going to start off, if you don't mind. I've seen a lot of products in the DEI space. I think it's much needed, so good job on the pitch. I'm just wondering, I didn't get a full picture of exactly how the product works. Maybe you can just fill in the blanks a little bit there and explain how it works and how you're increasing diversity and reducing turnover.
Sure. So our product is a subscription-based service. So what happens when a client purchases Inclusology, they get access to our platform. What happens in the platform is that we have a library of over 300 questions based on the global diversity and inclusion benchmark and research that I've been conducting for over 21 years in this industry. They can build their own diversity, equity, and inclusion assessments. Once they build the assessment and they send it to their employees and their employees take the assessment, that data comes back into our system and our system generates the data based on the different identity demographics that we measure. So we ask employees for over 15 different demographic identities that they have. Once we automate that data, we look at our benchmarking. What our benchmarking is it has about 3,400 employee responses where we compare companies to how they're performing versus how they perform in the industry, and we give them a ranking. Once they receive their statistical ranking, then they get an automated strategic plan that's being generated based on how we rank them in 14 different categories for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And once they get the automated strategic plan, they also get services that are recommended through our platform that helps them to give solutions that they may not have the bandwidth to solve.
Okay, Troy.
Cheryl, I got to tell you, you nailed that answer. Like, if there was ever any question, does she know her industry? Man. So I'm really curious, now that I understand how it works, I'm really curious about the unit economics. So what do you charge for this? What are your margins, and what does it cost you to get a customer?
Sure. So our gross margin for this year is 65%. What we charged originally in our beta was based on company size. So we use 4 tiers. For small companies, we charge $30,000 a year. For mid-sized companies, we were charged, or for large and enterprise companies, we were charging $120,000 a year. And then we had a tier for individual consultants where we were charging them $30,000 a year. And we also charge companies who would like to subscribe to our service to market their companies through our service $6,000 a year. And once we go to launch on November 15th, we'll be charging $7 per customer per month, and companies will pay that annual subscription. Or employee per month, sorry, and companies will pay that annual subscription.
So you have a platform with a marketplace integrated into it.
Yes.
For services. Awesome.
That's a quick question. How do you get the competitor data for industry benchmarking?
Sure. So there's a number of ways that we do it. When we use the Global Diversity and Inclusion Benchmark, there's a number of companies that subscribe to that. And so when a competitor gives their data, just so I'm making sure I answer your question, are you asking for a competitor for clients who use our services or competitors who are competitors in our actual market?
Yeah, I'm just saying, you said that you're benchmarking your clients versus, everybody else in their industry. So I'm just wondering where you actually get the data for all those competitors that you're benchmarking against.
Oh, I see. We get those from our clients. So the data that we have in our system is from data sets that previous clients have already used and taken our assessments. So for example, we have 3,444 employees, and of those, they're all from our clients. So we get that data and it integrates directly into our system.
All right. Thank you so much. Great job. Thank you, Cheryl. Judges, let's get the judging going, and we'll get on to our next startup. And we should probably talk about, so we've had a similar company, Blendor, win the Start of the Year in 2015. And if you want to hear that story, we actually did an interview with her recently, Stephanie Lampkin, the founder. She's on our podcast. So we have a podcast out there, Start of the Year podcast. You can join and listen to a great interview with her about what she's been up to.
And there are all kinds of other interviews as well. Just another plug. Lots of good content. All right, judges, feeling good about your scores? Fantastic.
All right.
Our 8th startup today to pitch is Jaxon from Boston, Massachusetts, another alumni from our partner Mass Challenge. Let's hear their pitch.
Jaxon is AI for AI, focused on using AI to label data so humans don't have to. Jaxon was born inside our previous company, Big Rio, a machine learning consulting firm that we grew and got acquired March 2019. Big Rio continues to thrive, has over 100 consultants, and is doing over 10 million per year. We did an IP assignment to Jaxon, took a team of 8 with us, raised a seed round, and came out with our version 1 release in January. We're working with companies ranging from Fortune 500s to startups to the US Department of Defense. The heart of AI today are models that use labeled data to learn from. The more high quality labeled data you have, the better you're able to get highly accurate models. Companies have dozens, if not hundreds of workers labeling data manually, and it takes months to produce enough. It's the biggest bottleneck in the AI creation process today. Meet Jaxon. Jaxon automates as much of the process as possible. We're currently focused on natural language processing use cases, really anything that's been written or spoken by a human. Text analytics, especially using deep learning, is extremely powerful for use cases ranging from customer service to marketing to risk and compliance. Here's a case study we did with a top 10 retailer. Jaxon not only labeled all of their data autonomously, it produced a better training set with a more accurate model. Most of our competition lies with the human-in-the-loop shops that charge by the hour or the label. Jaxon is sold as a software subscription that customers take on premises or on their private clouds. They pay us for the number of models that they train. We have figured out a repeatable sales process and are busy executing. Looking forward to the potential of being down selected to the top 50.
All right. Welcome, Scott Cohen.
Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Who wants to jump in?
I will. Hi, Scott. Jaxon looks really cool. That was a good pitch. Thank you. So, you said you have a scalable sales channel and you have traction. Can you give us an idea how much traction you have so far?
Sure. We've landed a top 10 retailer. We have some in the social media analytics space, and the U.S. Air Force.
So 3 customers so far. What's your MRR from that?
We have 300,000 so far this year.
In revenue to date or ARR?
In ARR.
Got it. Thank you.
Which happens to be to date also, because we just launched the product at the beginning of this year.
Makes sense. Who's up next?
Well, can I do another question if no one?
Sure.
I'm just wondering on what your overall accuracy rate is. I saw the accuracy rate was 82% in that case study, but overall, what is it?
It all depends on the data and the use case. We just did another benchmark study where we ended up with 90 versus the humans at 60. So it really ranges.
Okay, thanks.
So can you tell us a little bit about your go-to-market strategy? So you have 3 major clients right now. How did you get those clients, and what does the sales cycle look like for something like this?
It's a 3 to 6 month cycle. We have decided to predominantly go direct out of the gate, but we're establishing channel partnerships in the defense sector, as well as in insurance and financial services, which have been where we've been focusing outside of retail, which was our initial launch. So direct sales.
Got it. And so does that mean you're going to build out a sales team, or
correct?
You have that in-house already? What does that look like?
I am a salesman myself, so I'm leading the charge. We have an EVP of sales who recently took a company from 1.3 million to 1.3 billion in sales and exited to IBM. We are assembling the team. We just got our first hire and executing.
Hi, Scott, could you tell me a little bit about the competitors you're most concerned about and what you think your competitive advantage is over them?
Sure. The darling in the space is Scale AI. They're in Bay Area and they just raised 100 million. We are taking an AI approach where they're taking a human approach. So they still have a whole bunch of humans behind the scenes. They have a platform that they sell. They're trying to breathe in machine learning, but they'd be shooting themselves in the foot if they automated most of the process. We're only a platform. We're not selling any of the services, and seeing great results through a lot of synthetic augmentation of the data. So letting the AI create new examples and labeling those as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Scott.
Yep.
Thank you.
Time's up. All right.
Judges, enter your scores.
So AI versus human, who will win?
That's
that is the question.
Common question.
Yes.
Moving forward.
Yes. All right.
I was looking at a company with, AI teaching AI, and that's when it starts to get really interesting.
It's like humans teaching humans.
Sort of. All right. I think we're good.
Yes.
Fantastic. Who's next?
All right. Next up, we've got Lineus Medical out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. They were also alumni from Startco. They're 510 in Memphis, Tennessee. So welcome, Lineus. Let's see their pitch.
My name is Spencer Jones. I'm a registered nurse, founder, and chief technology officer at Lineus Medical. Believe it or not, the most common invasive procedure performed in U.S. hospitals has a failure rate approaching 50%. Sadly, this is the reality for peripheral IV catheters. Over 90% of patients admitted to U.S. hospitals receive an IV catheter. But according to the clinical literature, roughly 46% of those IV catheters fail before they're intended end of use. Now, there's over 220 million successfully placed peripheral IV catheters every year in the US. And at $50 per restart, IV complications end up costing the US healthcare system roughly $4 billion annually. Our solution is SafeBreak Vascular. It's a first of its kind dislodgement prevention device. SafeBreak comes fully assembled, as you see here, and is installed in the patient's IV line in between their long IV tubing from the pump and their vascular access device. It allows fluid to pass through freely, but whenever the line is subjected to a damaging level of tension, SafeBreak intentionally separates, seals off both sides, and protects the IV catheter. The benefits are clear. SafeBreak reduces IV complications, eliminates unnecessary IV restarts, prevents IV supply and medication waste, and most importantly, saves your nurses valuable time. Our team has over 45 years combined experience in medical device manufacturing, engineering, sales, and marketing, as well as clinical bedside experience. We just completed our second clinical study at Hartford Hospital in Connecticut. We had 146 patients in the trial, 73 receiving SafeBreak, 73 receiving the standard of care. And I'm happy to announce that our SafeBreak group showed a 32% reduction in IV complications. We're expecting FDA clearance in January of 2021. Our first full year of sales, we expect to be at $4 million in revenue. Second full year of sales, we expect to be at $11 million in revenue. We're currently in the middle of a $2.5 million Series B fundraising round. We completed the first tranche in February and are currently raising the second tranche of $1.25 million. And I'd love to talk to you more about the round after the pitch. Thank you.
All right, Spencer Jones, welcome. Welcome.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, good. Who's got the first question? Oh, Lisa, go ahead.
So what's your go-to-market strategy? Are you guys really planning to put a sales force out there and go to town?
No, we're going to go indirect with our sales force. We already have a distribution agreement in place with a group called Medical out of Nashville, and they're going to cover 50% of the U.S. and perform stock, fill, and ship. And then we've already made contact with the other independent distributors that will be signing up for the other 50%. And this is very common with infusion disposables. These groups will cover, 1 or 2 reps per state. They'll carry about a dozen products in their bag. So it's a very common kind of go-to-market approach for consumable disposable devices like this.
Great, thank you.
Spencer, are hospitals your target market?
Yes, sir. Inpatient facilities mainly. That's where the majority of IV catheters are inserted and used. There is an applicable market in the home care field that we're looking at, and also the veterinary space, but the inpatient market's definitely the beachhead.
Seems like that's a rather long sales cycle with those customers. I'm wondering how much runway will the $2.5 million give you?
Right. So the 1.25 million should give us enough runway to get to sustainability, and then we won't have to raise again. I think specifically, even if we were, 30% or 25% of sales, we'd have enough runway to get out through and into the middle of 2022. And if we did have to raise again, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but we're planning for this raise to be the final raise.
Okay, thanks.
What's the price point for the product sold at whatever volume you expect to sell into a hospital?
Yep. So our initial starting sales price, list price, is going to be $8, and we're going to allow our sales reps to discount down to $6 without getting kind of prior authorization from us. But we know that the goal long term is, as we scale the product up, invest in automation equipment at our manufacturing facility, we want to get the cost down to $4, and eventually we think at scale, if we were to get acquired and somebody was putting those types of resources behind it, this is probably going to end up selling for closer to $2 a unit in 4 or 5 years.
Thanks.
The trial size was a little bit small, compared to, I think you said 32% reduction in complications. If I'm somebody who's managing purchasing decisions for a hospital, how does that kind of translate to dollars and cents or time for me?
Yeah, so the sample size of the trial was set by the FDA. They wanted to look at proving that there was non-inferiority with delay in therapy, which basically just means they wanted to make sure it didn't separate too early and too often. And so that was how the sample size was set there. But really, we did the trial across, I think, 4 or 5 different units within the hospital. So we were getting geriatric, neuro patients, a large kind of patient set. And generally speaking, the securement devices that they use across the patient sets are all analogous. So you can take that data and kind of apply it anywhere.
All right. Time is up. Thank you, Spencer. Thank you, judges. Really
Thank you, guys.
Yep. All right. Get those votes in. And while you're voting on your scorecards, everyone that's watching can actually be voting too. There's a People's Choice Award happening for the start of the year as well. So go to EST/poll and you can vote right now for your favorite startup. It doesn't have to be one that's pitched already. It could be one that's pitching, later in the week.
Yep. Get a head start.
Get a head start on that. Yeah. vote often. I'm not even going to touch that one. Keep going, Jen.
All right. We are more than halfway through now. We're going to startup number 10 with Mekumi, another one from Austin, Texas. Let's hear their pitch.
Hi, my name is Sarah Jabin. I'm the founder of Mekumi. Every year, we lose $20 billion because 45% of the students are still taking remedial courses in college. 61% of the teachers are stressed out and many quit. 92% of the graduates still feel unprepared for the workplace. All of this is because there are no systemic solutions to support educators and students, empowering them to be ready for college as well as the workforce. The solution is Mekumi Ed. We are at the convergence of learning management systems and instructional planning and content providers. We are the first media and content agnostic platform with editable content. Mekumi Ed comes with complete courses. Teachers can revise all the content through a structured format. We've even closed the loop, enabling students to provide feedback. This drastically reduces the workload of the teachers, and teachers can publish their lesson plans that are automatically shared across all the other teachers. Mekumi tracks patterns and surfaces the best lesson plans across the community of teachers. Total market size, 45 billion. Business model, we're a SaaS model. We license our courseware as well as our platform. Courseware goes for $45 per course per student, and the platform goes for $65 per student. Traction's been great so far. We've had multiple paid pilots across universities, 2 school districts, 14 schools. We're well on our way to penetrate the market globally. We also have a great management team that comes across with years of experience in learning management development, mass media production, as well as education. Thank you.
All right, so joining us now is Sarah Jabin. Let's jump in with questions. Hi, Sarah.
Hi. Sarah, I have a question. I think I missed something. Do teachers have to load their lesson plans in?
So we've actually also developed a content ingestion tool, and we can basically take whatever they have and load it for them. But usually whenever we go to school districts, they basically say, hey, do you have this course, or can you develop a course in automotive technology or something, and we'll load it for them preliminarily. So the teachers will always get a baseline. All the teachers will get all of the lesson plans, so say 180 hours of instruction, already preloaded.
And my other question is, where are you in terms of traction?
So right now we're actually regrouping during COVID-19 and doing global expansion. So we've actually put a team together for sales in Eastern Europe, in Japan, as well as in India. And we're doing market research to see which ones we want to do for vocational training for B2C versus, B2B. In places like Japan, we're already halfway in. We have strategic partnerships with an advertising firm who has some customers that are in the education space. So they would like to digitize their content and put it on our platform so that all their teachers have the same visibility.
So I had a question. So can you tell me a little bit about your sales cycle? Because selling to schools and selling to school districts can be really tough. So talk to us a little bit about what the sales cycle looks like, and how much do you gain in revenue per school or per district?
So our gross margin for platforms is about 70%, and our gross margin for courses is about 40%. And yes, the sales cycle is long traditionally, and that is one of the reasons why we are trying to go the international route, where countries have educational mandates. In the United States, we do sell to school districts directly, and our first meetings are usually with the CTE, which is Career Technology Education Directors. We also have to build relationships up and down, the hierarchy. And basically, we are right now already selling for 2021.
All right. Who else has questions? Anyone else?
Yeah, one last question. There are a lot of I've seen a lot of online courseware companies. So how are you differentiating?
So online course companies will not let you edit the content once it's already in there. So right now we're basically the only platform that's allowing for published content to be editable in real time. So each teacher gets their own space, they can make all the changes they want, and all the other teachers teaching the same course in the school district can also see the changes and copy them. So that's one of the main differentiators. So you've got publishing houses that basically sell you content, LMSs that basically give you a space and ask you to organize your content. We're bringing the both of them together and also providing a structured format so that all of the buckets are filled and everybody's content looks the same.
Great. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
All right, judges, enter your scores. And while we're on the topic, I just want to send a shout out to all of those teachers out there, all the parents who never thought they'd have to be teachers and find themselves in that role. So many of you are going through so much right now, and we see you. Keep it up. Good job. Hang in there. Won't be forever.
Yeah, we'll have some long breaks here soon with the holidays. So
yes. All right, judges, how you doing? Thumbs up.
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right, next up, we only have 7 left. So you guys are doing an amazing job. Keep that energy going. We're going to cruise on through here. We're going down to Atlanta, Georgia to MyTotem. So let's see MyTotem's pitch.
I'm Ashley, founder and CEO of MyTotem, the AI-powered brand maker for entrepreneurs. For most entrepreneurs, starting a business today means starting out online through a successful image that tells your story. DIY design tools are widely popular for selling simple and affordable design alternatives to hiring a graphic designer, but end up leaving entrepreneurs to make overwhelming amounts of design decisions. Companies like Canva are great for fast graphics when you already know what you want to make. But what about the millions of entrepreneurs that don't know? Well, I'm proud to introduce you to MyTotem, the automated brand tech solution that uses proprietary design algorithms to create personalized digital branding experiences. It starts with a short questionnaire to understand your style, set goals through your industry and target audience, and instantly, our smart brander uses AI to accurately learn your aesthetic. Get pre-branded social graphics curated around your company's marketing goals each month. So why brand tech? It's proven that successful branding leads to increased revenue, but most businesses are still disengaged with their online presence despite the immediate need to adapt to digital practices. We're helping new and emerging small business owners with on average 0 to 2 employees making under $100K in ARR. On a macro level, we can see our $685 billion market is made up of the 30 million US entrepreneurs that invest on average $2,500 yearly into social marketing. We charge a small fee of $15 a month for marketing and an additional $115 for entrepreneurs who need their initial branding and logo. We're on track to take over the world. We've built a functional MVP, we're generating revenue, and I've seen over 2 times paid growth month over month since our launch. We are the perfect team to reinvent DIY design because we know how to build scalable systems. With our advisors, we have over a decade of combined experience in design, business, and tech. We're looking for $500K to go fast, to scale the team, and do a big marketing push to gain our first 10K active paid users. So if you would like to take part in this design revolution, email me at ashley@totemagency.co. Thank you.
Welcome, Ashley Richardson.
Hi.
How are you doing today? Welcome. Who's got the first question?
Hey, Ashley, can
I have a question? Oh, sorry. Hey, Ashley, great presentation, really cool product. So this is a space where there's clearly a lot of competition. I think one of the things I thought was kind of interesting is that, you're a startup marketing company, but you're relying on paid customer acquisition to get your startup off the ground. So tell us a little bit about, what sort of cool marketing techniques you guys are using besides paid to get those first customers, get the product into their hands.
Yeah, so as of now, we're actually just using word of mouth. We had to shut down operations temporarily for the last month because we were growing so fast, and we had to prepare basically our data sets, scrub our data, and prepare for scale. And so to do that, since we have a small team, we had to shut down operations and just kind of regroup. But within the SMB entrepreneurship space, everything really expands through word of mouth. And so our paid acquisition basically was to get in front of entrepreneurs and let them know that we exist. And then everything else will play itself out. And it's seen like within Canva and other SaaS business brand tech tools. All of their acquisition has really been through word of mouth in this niche community that business owners and entrepreneurs have. And so as of now, we have proven that our word of mouth really does scale. So far, we have about 134 customers. We've been launched for about 7 months now. We haven't done any paid marketing at all. And we've had to close down signups. So it's been very successful for us. And we know that that's something that we can rely on in the future. But the main thing would be to get in front of business owners and let them know that we do exist.
All right, great. There are a bunch of other hands up. Who wants to jump in?
Ashley, just a quick question on the team. Anyone on the team with sales and marketing experience?
Yeah, so I have sales and marketing. I've done consulting freelance for about 5 years. I also have done sales for about 3 years, but with my own business, I guess I could say 7 years now. And so as soon as I graduated from Georgia State, I hopped right into entrepreneurship. So really, it's been me that has the design, marketing, sales expertise, and Chris also has some sales expertise, but he more so is focused on the tech part.
Troy, go ahead.
Yeah, so nice pitch. And Ashley, you said something that both excited me and terrified me at the same time. And that was, you said, oh my God, we have so many customers. I'm getting really excited that we had to shut down. I'm terrified. So can you explain a little bit about the shutdown part? That the so many customers sounds like you have product market fit, but I want to understand what's missing.
Yeah, so with AI products, it's very, you do have to build an MVP that can scale for your automation, right? And so what we did was we said, okay, let's put an MVP out there that's fairly good, and let's just get it in front of customers so that we can start iterating rapidly and just understand really where that where our product solves that problem. And so we did that, and we decided to do it in a human in the loop sort of situation. So it's not all automated. We have humans in the back end feeding in the data. And so if the more data that comes at us is the more that we have to kind of structure it a little bit better and clean it.
A lot of typing.
So,
yeah. Totally get it. Okay.
The artificial intelligence is human aided.
Right.
Yeah, as of now.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Ashley. Great pitch.
Thank you.
Judges, let's get those scores in. And how are you feeling so far? We got 6 more.
Great. Keeping the energy up.
Yeah, the energy's up. Brand is so important though, right? Like,
I know.
That's such an important thing, branding. And I'm curious what your favorite brands are, but we don't have enough time. So I just feel like brands that I like create delight, right? Like they have this ability to like make hard things magical.
Yes, that's a great point.
Yeah.
All right, judges good, fantastic. Our next competitor is Neolth, another West Coaster from San Francisco, California. Let's watch their pitch.
Hi, I'm Catherine Grill from Neolth, and today I want to talk about Alex. Alex is a college student, away from home for the first time, and she's struggling with her mental health. She tried to get help on campus, but was told she needed to wait 60 days for an appointment. But Alex needs help today, so she signed up for Neolth. Neolth assessed Alex's health needs and gave her personalized behavioral activities that she could do directly on our platform. With Neolth, Alex gets on-demand, individualized mental health support. Alex's counselor can continuously monitor her mental health, solving their #1 problem of triaging high-risk students. I'm so proud of what we've accomplished since launching last year. We have over 100 Neolth chapters in schools where students are using and advocating for our product. Our daily active use is higher than competitors' monthly active use because we know this space. Our team has over 40 years experience in student mental health and 25 years experience in business and software development, including a previous startup exit. The market for US high schools and universities is nearly $30 billion. We sell directly to these schools, charging an upfront annual price per student. We're on track to make $1 million in ARR next year. We've won numerous awards. We're featured on the NASDAQ Tower in Times Square, and we're a TechStars portfolio company. We're accelerating our growth, providing on-demand, individualized mental health support to the 40 million students like Alex who need our help today. Thank you.
All right, welcome to the stage, Catherine Grill, Bessie, timer, and judges. Jump in. Troy?
So, very nice presentation, Catherine. Congratulations. Can you elaborate on 26% DAU? That's an amazing figure. Is that students? 26% of the students who are on your platform are signing into this thing daily? And if they are, what for? Because they're 26% in that much trouble?
Yeah, it's really high. We're thrilled about that. I think part of the reason is because we've partnered so closely with students. We have nearly 150 student ambassadors that we work with on product development. So we're seeing about, like I said, 26% active each day. The average session is 58 minutes, so very high engagement. And I think that speaks to our content. Beyond just providing your typical mental health content that a digital health company might provide around depression or anxiety, we actually look at the issues that are really important to the students. Things like mental health in the LGBTQ+ community, mental health for immigrants and first-gen students. So really underserved markets where the students can't find that content anywhere else.
And how big is the sample size for that 26%? N equals what?
Thanks. N equals about 400 right now.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. We also actually just launched, going off of that, a student story section. So we have students who come in, they do interviews with the company and talk about their mental health experiences, which is really powerful for a student who's struggling to log in and watch a video of another student sharing what they've gone through and how they've been able to get over that. So I think that really speaks to our content and those high engagement levels.
So I have a quick question for you.
Go ahead.
You said you have 111 schools represented. How were you able to get that many schools? Was it getting directly to the students? Was it going directly to the schools? Like, how did that happen? Because that's a phenomenal number in 1 year.
Thanks, Mac. So that's actually our student ambassador chapters. And what we decided to do about a month ago, and since actually the past few weeks since we submitted this video, it's up to 118. But what we did was we were having a lot of students come to us and saying, this is really important. I want to be involved in the company. And not just I want to use the product, but I actively want to bring this back to my school. So what we've done is gone and set up Neolth student ambassador chapters within the school, where we create almost like a school club, and those students are using and advocating for our product. They work with the mental health commissions on campus. And it's basically a sales tactic where we're turning some of these cold leads into warm leads. The students give presentations to their mental health commission on campus, and then they kind of open that door for us to get in line with the decision makers.
Let me just ask a quick final question. In addition to the digital content, are you also providing access to live counselors?
We do not. It's not a telemedicine service. We actually come in and we can integrate. We can either use this as a self-guided program, or if the university wants, integrate with the counseling center. And we have a module for their counselors to come on and monitor student progress and pull them in for in-person appointments when needed.
All right.
Sorry, just to verify, you have 400 users?
Thanks. Yeah, we have about 400 now. So a lot of those are our student ambassadors, and then also through our other schools. And we're gearing up some contracts now. We're in TechStars, which is an ed-focused, TechStars Iowa is ed-focused, partnered with a lot of universities, about 40. So we're gearing up to launch contracts in the next few months with about 20,000 students.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Catherine.
Thanks so much.
All right. What an important service, especially right now.
Yeah.
Challenging time for students.
Not just students, anybody.
Well, for everyone, but I'm definitely thinking about, gosh, if I was, 18, 19 years old at a university, it'd be challenging time. So
Sure.
Great new service.
All right. Next up, let's see, I'm seeing some thumbs up.
All right.
We're actually going to St. Paul, Minnesota for a second.
Nice.
Land of Lake Wobegon, if you're familiar. And we're going to be hearing from a company that's actually one of the Mass Challenge alums as well. It's a company called Otrafy. And let's watch the pitch.
Hello, Ultra fans. When we think about food, we think about all the good things, like the color, the smell, and the taste. What we do not think about is paper. Well, except for me. My name is Nat. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Otrafy, and I constantly think about the 200 billion pages of paper that exist in the food industry today. Now, for this box of Cheerios, General Mills has to document all of its standard food safety regulation, as well as its heart-safe and gluten-free certifications. To do this, hundreds of document pages are needed for each and every one of its 20 ingredients. And it's not just General Mills. Anyone who touches an ingredient here has to maintain and share its documents, from growers all the way to retailers. So for this one cereal box that has 20 ingredients and 3 claims, more than 20,000 patient documents are needed to be maintained, organized, and shared by everyone involved. And that was just one product. So here at Otrafy, we've created a software to eliminate this paperwork so that businesses can focus on making great food. Our intuitive communication platforms enables faster onboarding time, and our natural language processing can quickly highlight any potential problems along the way. Now, we launched a pilot with the world's largest food manufacturer, Cargill, in March and Camps in April. Since our beta launch, we've Otrafied thousands of documents, saved hundreds of hours, and generated over $100,000 in revenue. Now, we have a simple 3-tiered SaaS business model that charges our customers based on the number of seats that they require. Our go-to-market strategy focuses on large enterprise customers such as Cargill, where we can create a network effect where one power user will result in thousands of new accounts. Now, I'm proud to be leading an amazing team with over 20 years of experience in the food industry, as well as enjoying the support of our incredible mentors. Now, Otrafy is not just replacing paper. We're collecting a large amount of data from farming practices to food safety and supply chain. In the future, this data will enable us to trace information along the entire food chain and giving everybody a peace of mind. So, become an Otra fan today, and together we can create a food system of the future.
Nat Gwynn, welcome.
Thank you.
And it's Otrafy.
Otrafy.
Otrafy. Yeah. No matter what I do, I say it the wrong way, so I apologize.
So good.
Hey, I'm wondering, why do you think yours is the team to solve this big problem?
Yeah, absolutely. For us, one of my co-founder is actually Lucas. He's our COO, and he used to own his own business in the organic food industry, where he imported a lot of food from China into North America and US. And that's how we really understood the problem to the core, because he faces that every day. And then on top of that, we have a very strong head of engineering, Phil, as you saw, ex-UC Davis computer software engineer. He's really strong at really creating our natural language processing as well as optical character recognition model to really bring us to the next stage in the product. So we're excited.
Who's doing sales though?
Lucas. So Lucas, he has a lot of industry contact, being him from the industry himself. He's being able to kind of connect to a lot of different manufacturers. So, as we mentioned, we're already working with Cargill and Camps, but in the pipeline, we have General Mills, we have Mondelez, we have 8th Avenue, AgroSoup, and things like that. And essentially, we'll be able to kind of walk through this conversation pretty well just from his experience.
Thank you.
Can you talk about your traction? I mean, you said Cargill, but I know how complicated big companies are. So what does that mean that you're working with them? And where are you in terms of traction?
Yeah, absolutely. So specifically with Cargill, so we've already completed a pilot for this year, which is actually that's completed. And just about a couple of weeks ago, Cargill have now indicated that they want to sign a 1-year SaaS agreement with us to go on for that, specifically with their protein division. So one of their 30 different divisions within Cargill. And that's we're only not stopping there. They already have a stand up every fortnight catch up with their corporate team, where we're working together with Cargill to implement Otrafy at the global level, where they see the benefit would work across not just one division, but multiple of their divisions as well. So that's where we are at in terms of our traction. In terms of the other conversation, Camps, we're also having a very positive traction there. Now, the only thing is they're going through a merger with Dean's Food right now, if you guys are aware of that, kind of what's happening. And so that's kind of throw a lot of like their decision making a few months back. But they love Otrafy. They already gave us 800 supply locations, 3,000 of the products from the Dean side for us to import into Otrafy, and we made it super easy and seamless for them. So they're super excited to continue to work with us. And the other conversation I just mentioned earlier, General Mills, we're already moving through those conversations. Mondelez, we just started a couple of weeks ago. I'm happy to share the case study that we already done with Camps. That's something that is great to have.
All right.
What do you think the cost savings is, typical cost saving is for the large enterprise client versus what you're charging them? I think you mentioned for the pilots, you were already charging over $100,000 for your 2 clients.
Yeah, absolutely. So, from the enterprise clients that we've been working with, we've been able to really track out the time saving in terms of like specifically the quality assurance team, right? So the larger enterprise, we see like, on a typical of 10 people in a quality assurance team, we have estimated working closely with the clients that we can save about 2.5 full-time equivalent employees off of that, right? And that's just based on our current capabilities. We also show them like what are we seeing in the future in terms of a lot more automation from our optical character recognition and natural language processing. And that number in the future saving, we estimate that to be 6 FTE out of that 10 people team. So they're super excited to see us progressing as we build out a product and really help to gain efficiency within their processes.
All right. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Nat.
All right. Today's 14th company is Patientory from Atlanta, Georgia. This company came to us through our partner Ascend Atlanta and is an alum of Boomtown Accelerator and was also part of the NASA iTech program, which we proudly support.
To the moon.
And then Mars.
And Mars.
All right, let's hear the pitch.
Hi, everyone. I'm Krista McFarland, and I'm the founder and CEO of Patientory. At Patientory, we're empowering our end users with actionable insights to their health data to improve health outcomes while decreasing healthcare costs. Imagine owning all of your health information, not Apple or Google, plus be able to know the chronic diseases you're most at risk for 20 years before it happens. Healthcare organizations are sitting on a gold mine of data, which can help and aid in preventing unwanted diseases and deaths, especially during a pandemic. That's where Patientory comes in. We started our company in order to tackle the growing epidemic of chronic diseases in the U.S., coupled with the lack of healthcare data access. With over 45,000 subscribers and over 2 million in grants, our software, which runs on a national healthcare data network, aggregates data from over 200 million Americans to provide machine learning and artificial intelligence around social and economic determinants of health risk for improved population health management. Organizations are using our dashboard to decrease costs by eliminating duplication of tests and exams, receiving a holistic view of a patient's medical history. We are a B2B2C business model, and we have over 9 partnerships, some of which are revenue generated, such as the COVID-19 patient recruitment vaccine trials hosted by Moderna. We also provide a real-time COVID-19 patient tracking and symptom reporting tool easily and securely shareable via the blockchain network. While there is a lot of competition in the digital health space, with over 20 patents pending, 5 already issued, and a number of awards, we're differentiated from other solutions in that we've been able to solve the health IT interoperability issue, giving us the ability to provide enhanced proprietary data intelligence. I bring over 15 years of experience in the digital healthcare IT space, from healthcare IT consultant to an acquisition at my last startup, and my team and I is revolutionizing healthcare globally with collectively over 40 years experience in the industry. We've received investments from notable funds and support from U.S. International Trade Department. So imagine a world where you no longer have to scramble around for all your medical and health information, knowing you have the ownership and control over this data and not a mega tech company. Join us on our mission for your health at your fingertips. Thank you.
Krista McFarland.
Hi, guys.
You here.
Thank you for having me.
Our timer has started. Let's jump in with questions.
Hey, Chris, everyone in this space says that they're interoperable. So how are you differentiating from the competition?
Yeah, and that was one of the biggest decisions. We decided to use blockchain as our underlying technology, especially seeing a lot of the API and the crowded space and accessing medical data from electronic medical records. But we found by integrating that as the infrastructure to achieve true interoperability and access to data, we've been able to also incorporate features such as consent management of that data, identification, but also create a incentivization layer for the exchange of information, especially when we start to think about big data and large data sets exchanged between enterprises through the use of a token system.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And Krista, where are you in terms of, I mean, I heard B2B to C. So are you selling to corporates? Are you selling to hospitals? I get the C part.
Yeah, the C part is easy. Like everyone knows their information. On the B2B side, our go-to-market strategy is focused right now on healthcare systems. So large ACO, accountable care organizations that have a large population of Medicaid and Medicare patients, where they see a lot of high risk, and they need actual data to create predictive models around, management of those high risk populations.
Are you having to integrate with the big bad guys out there like Cerner and Epic, or are you going into places where they aren't?
Yeah, so our network currently integrates into Epic. So with the new policy regulations that happened at the end of the first quarter of this year with TEFCA, we're part of a consortium where our blockchain network can access, 10,000 health systems in the US records. So that includes Epic, Cerner, Allscripts, Meditech, the major players.
Impressive.
So I had a question.
Can you elaborate a little more on your traction? I'm not quite clear as to where you actually are.
Absolutely, yeah. So we are, we've received product market validation. We've done a series of POCs and trials on the B2B side. So you've probably seen from the pitch, we've received grants from Novartis. We've also done through a venture studio with Moda Health and Oregon Health Sciences medical system and university, for which we, published a peer-reviewed journal. So we're in the process of deploying the enterprise to market. On the consumer side, we've been in active beta. With about 2% of that 45,000 subscribers that we have. And then our plan is to roll it out to the remaining 42,000 subscribers on the consumer side.
All right, and time is up. Thank you so much, Krista.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much.
All right, judges, get your scores in.
Blockchain and medical.
Yes, good stuff happening.
Yep. All right, got the thumbs up.
All right.
These judges are keeping it moving. I like it. Okay, next up, let's hear for Pocketnest out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Pocketnest is an alum of the Startup Ambassador Accelerator Program, which includes TechStars. So that's how we got them in here. And let's see their pitch.
Hi, my name is Jessica Willis. I'm the founder and CEO of Pocketnest. Pocketnest provides comprehensive financial planning to Gen X and millennials on a digital platform. And we do this by licensing our software to financial institutions like banks, credit unions, and investment advisors. I have 20 years experience in wealth management. I'm a certified financial planner, and I've co-managed $1 billion in assets for over 300 families. And I have seen a trend. 90% of millennials have gaps in their broader financial plans. And they're a generation that'll amass $46 trillion by the end of 2020. 67% of this generation are getting all of their financial advice from two non-financial sources, Facebook and Twitter. On the other side of this equation are the financial institutions who are trying to get in front of this next gen. But the financial planning process is a very time-consuming one, resulting in an industry that only aims to serve the very wealthy, making it inefficient to scale and serve the masses. Until now. At Pocketnest, we've created the technology that allows these institutions to provide a white label experience to their next generation, all in their own brand. With step-by-step guidance, Pocketnest takes a user through all 10 themes of financial planning. Users end up with a customized to-do list consisting of recommendations, education, and tasks. This information, in addition to all the information we learn about them, is shared digitally back to the financial institution serving them, the same institution licensing our software. Now, fintech's a crowded space, we know that, but we know this industry and have yet to find a tool that's both digital and comprehensive, which is a must for any financial institution looking to serve the next gen. Making all of the financial companies out there and all of the fintech companies out there, not our competition, but our customers, making Pocketnest ripe for acquisition by any number of global financial companies. Now, our team of 7 launched our product in October. We've taken companies from pilot to full paying customers. We have 7 paying enterprise customers. We're growing at 24% month over month in total end users. Join our charge.
All right. We've got Jessica Willis. Welcome.
Everybody. Hi there.
All right, let's get the timer going. And first question, Troy, I saw a hand fly up.
Sorry, I was muted. So great presentation, Jessica. You said you have 7 paying customers. I think your deck may have said 8. What does that translate to in recurring revenue?
10 grand per month in monthly recurring revenue. We're up to 8 enterprise customers.
Awesome. And that's in 1 month you've been live?
No, we launched in October of last year.
Oh, 12 months. Okay, 12 months. Thank you.
Next question.
And so you mentioned you have those enterprise customers, so it's 10,000 a month for each of those customers. So are you a B2B company or a B2B to C company, right? So do you sell directly to consumers or just to the institutions?
Yeah, thanks, Max. So it's 10 grand total in monthly revenue. I wish it was 10 grand per customer.
Oh, 10 grand total.
Case, 10 grand total. And our revenue model is a monthly subscription fee based on the number of end users. The financial institution pays that fee. So we're a B2B to C play.
Okay. So you have the contract with the institution, but then you get paid based on how many of their customers actually use your product.
Yes, and we know we can't leave that on them. So we do all the marketing with them to encourage end user engagement. So
tell to me a little bit about what you do for that marketing to get to those end users, because that seems to be the biggest thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we can crack that nut and we win in this space. So that's kind of where we've been focused for the last year. We do it through a series of marketing campaigns. So we've spent the last 12 months building reskinnable marketing assets so that when we license to a financial institution, we partner with their marketing group to do emails, to do social media. Sometimes there's intranet banners. Sometimes it's on-sites, not during COVID, but prior to COVID, on-site visits, and then a lot of virtual webinars and things like that. So we don't know, but we are trying everything and trying to see what works.
What have your daily usage numbers been like so far?
Yeah, honestly, it's not great because we have built the platform to be wide and shallow. Our goal right now from a product standpoint is to build what we need to get users back in for 3 minutes a week. And so every product release that we're doing now is all about that thesis. How do we get people back in on a weekly basis at 3 minutes a week? So I'm not trying to avoid the answer. I genuinely don't know it because it isn't a good measurable yet, but that's where we need to go, is to be able to get people back in.
All right, Erica.
Yeah, hi. Great presentation, Jessica. So there are a lot of people out there that are trying to figure out how to market better and more efficiently for financial institutions or to get that customer. So we know that it's very competitive. What do you think your special sauce is?
Yeah, I mean, so Erica, you kind of get to the competitive landscape question. And so just for sake of time, I'm going to answer it that way, but please let me know if I miss it. And the reason why is because if we're being bucketed as a comparable to a direct to consumer, fintech platform like a robo-advisor, Acorns and Mint, we think we're very different from them. So I think our real competition is really competing against the wealth tech platforms of the world. So like the InvestNets, the Money Guide Pro, and the eMoney, depending on how much someone knows about the space, will understand that that's the piece that we have to get by. And so, I mean, the ideal answer is, all of those potential financial institutions out there that could be perceived as competing with us, we really think they need to be doing what we're doing, which is true comprehensive financial planning. And they're not. A lot of them, most of them are very siloed in either banking or investments or retirement. And so we want to license to them.
Okay, I got to cut you off. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it fair. But great answers.
Quick.
Good. All right. So next, let's get our judges to judge. Good. Okay.
Just a heads up. I got time for one more.
One more. Okay, I was going to ask you that. Okay.
Fantastic. All right. Now we're going to hear from RX Live from St. Petersburg, Florida. They come to us from Tampa Bay Wave, which is the central hub for Tampa Bay startup activity and supported over 300 startups. And also our friends at Embark Collective, another incredible organization based in Tampa. Let's watch their pitch.
Hi, my name is Mark Anglin. Here at RX Live, we are passionate advocates for the role of clinical pharmacists outside of the pharmacy. In fact, we think that pharmacists are some of the most underutilized resources in healthcare. In our model, we're a technology platform, but we're also a nationwide marketplace of part-time clinical pharmacists and work directly with physicians and other healthcare organizations. The way that the model works is that the physician introduces the patient to our pharmacy team. Our pharmacists then spend about 30 minutes counseling patients over telehealth, either video or phone. The model is reimbursed by Medicare and other payers, and we pay our pharmacists per piece. But we're much more than just a tech-enabled service. We've built a completely proprietary, innovative technology platform that aggregates all of the data from these in-depth consultations, uses machine learning and other algorithms, customizes the patient and provider communication, integrates telehealth, and essentially uses our pharmacy team as a human cloud to train the model and develop these protocols over time. So the market for this type of in-depth pharmacy counseling engagement is about $5 billion and is growing to $10 billion over the next 5 to 6 years, with a huge under-penetrated opportunity to serve physicians and self-insured employers. From a progress perspective, we've really exploded out of the gate. We've grown about 30% month over month for the past 3 quarters and expect to then double and triple the business with booked and signed business that represents a great set of healthcare logos. And the reason for this growth is because of a great stakeholder experience that delivers about a 4 to 5x ROI to our physician partners, as well as about a 20x ROI to our first employer pilot. From a founding team perspective, I'm the CEO with a deep background in healthcare and launched the business with my wife, clinical pharmacist, Kristen. We've got a great team, set of advisors, as well as investors, and have raised about $1.75 million to date. We were recently admitted to the Plug and Play Silicon Valley Health cohort. We're admitted to TechStars United Healthcare's program, but decided not to participate, and hope ultimately to be voted Startup of the Year for 2020. Thank you so much.
All right, welcome, Mark Englund.
Thanks, everyone. Pleasure to be here.
Let's jump in with questions.
Mark, can you clarify who is the customer? Who's the payer?
Yep. So our customer are risk-bearing physician organizations, but ultimately the payer is Medicare or any Medicare Advantage plan or even a self-insured employer.
Okay.
More questions?
What's your current traction, Mark? How much business are you currently generating?
Yeah, we've got about 13 different physician organizations generating about $30,000 a month, and then expect to double and triple that with some signed business with some really big healthcare logos over the first part of next year. It's a very exciting time, and we've built a couple different channels, so both the employer channel as well as the physician channel.
What ultimately is the benefit for a physician to work with you?
Yep. So there's a couple. I think there's a immediate financial incentive in terms of the fee-for-service revenue that we can drive into the business, but there's a longer-term shared savings ROI opportunity associated with integrating pharmacy in this way, typically somewhere between a 5 to 8x ROI on the pharmacy spend. And so as physicians take more risk, particularly around the pharmacy side of healthcare, there's a tremendous opportunity for upside. From a metrics perspective, we've also seen decreases in readmissions of about 50%, which is a really great early metric. And we save patients about $1 a day in overall healthcare costs.
Who's got the next question? Oh, Erica.
Sorry, I'm not sure I got that. Can you explain a little bit about how your product is mitigating risk for these?
Yeah, absolutely. So just at a very basic level, when complex patients who take a lot of medication spend time with a clinical pharmacist, we create value in 3 ways. We either help reduce the cost of that regimen, we simplify that regimen, or we reorient it to drive more therapeutic effectiveness. And so not only are we this tech-enabled service where the consultative piece drives behavioral as well as economic value, but then the data that we collect on the back end is really valuable. So we've got a SaaS application that our pharmacy team uses, the physician never sees it, that drives how effective the quality of those consultations are.
All right. Any last question? All right. Then I think we're good. Thank you so much, Mark. Great having you here today.
Okay.
Judges?
And judges.
Finish your scores. Thumbs up. I think we're good. All right. We're going to move on.
All right.
And today's final competitor.
I can't believe, yeah, it's the last but not least. Today's final competitor today is True Genomics out of Rockville, Maryland. They heard about Startup of the Year through the ambassador partner Startup Grind, which is a global community that educates and inspires entrepreneurs in 600 cities and 125 countries. Let's hear their pitch. True Genomics.
Hi, my name is Charles Cathlin, CEO of True Genomics, the precision behavioral health company, and we have a vision of using the power of genomics to bring behavioral health into the 21st century. I'm a military veteran, and in 2001, I deployed to Ground Zero following the 9/11 attacks, and that experience inspired me to search for better solutions for mental health. Every day in the U.S., 21 veterans commit suicide, almost one every hour, largely because they go undiagnosed with mental health challenges. Our current gold standards are subjective self-reporting surveys. Imagine if you had cancer or COVID and you were asked to fill out a survey to diagnose it. That would be unacceptable. Well, now we have the technology to disrupt our current approaches to mental health. Our TrueGen1 biomarker lab-developed test allows us to objectively identify those at high risk for PTSD so we can intervene much earlier. Our test works by collecting a blood sample and sequencing the RNA. We then feed the genomic information into our machine learning engine and generate a report that provides the clinician with objective information. I want to be clear, PTSD is not just a veteran issue. It's a global public health issue. This has become more evident with the increase of PTSD among COVID frontline workers. In the regions where we currently hold patents, we have a $64 billion total addressable market. During the pandemic, our company was able to raise $1.8 million in investment and $200,000 in non-dilutive income. We're currently collaborating with the U.S. Army, the VA, the Canadian military, and private healthcare systems such as Sanford Health. Our team was built for this mission, has extensive experience in this area. Prior to retirement, I served as Chief of Staff of the Defense and Veterans Brain Injury Center. Our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Anna Claro, is a former Command Surgeon of the Army National Guard, and our Chief Scientific Officer and my co-founder, Dr. Cunningham, is a molecular biologist that spent a decade at the VA. I hope you join us in our mission of using genomics to bring behavioral health into the 21st century. Thank you.
And I saw a hand go up. Lisa, you got a question. Jump on in.
First of all, you're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you.
Can I make a quick comment? My slides didn't show up for some reason, so I apologize for that, but I'm happy to send them out to anyone that would be interested.
It was fine.
Oh, we saw them.
We saw them.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, okay. On my end. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, yep. So can you tell me where are you in the approval process? And
yes. Mm-hmm.
And what's the plan in terms of go-to-market?
Absolutely. So first of all, let me say something. I worked at the FDA for about 10 years as well. I was a branch chief of the neurology devices branch. So very familiar with the FDA approval process. Right now, we have a consulting team that we're working with, and we're preparing for a pre-submission package that we're going to be putting in probably the first week of November. So we're just tightening up a couple of things. We're going to submit our package, and then we plan to be meeting with the FDA in early January for our pre-submission meeting. So we're very excited about that opportunity.
And are you selling direct to hospitals, doctors? What's your go-to-market strategy?
Yeah, so we're starting with, first of all, we already have some established relationships with the VA and the Department of Defense. We're already collaborating with them as well. And one of our investors is Sanford Health. It's the largest rural healthcare provider in the U.S. So those are the types of groups that are interested in our technology. So we're going to continue to work with government healthcare systems and also private healthcare systems.
Hey, Charles, it's Troy. Nice presentation, and I'm not an MD, so the qualifications there, I'm not an MD, but I'm a little confused about the technology. I thought I heard you say you were doing a blood test, you were looking at RNA, and that there were markers in the RNA that would be indications of PTSD.
Yes.
And to me, RNA is part of my genetic code, and I wouldn't think my RNA would change, my genes would change just because of something I experienced. So can you help me understand better how your technology works?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things we like to sort of use as a comparison is look at cancer, for example. You may be predisposed to a certain type of cancer, but there has to be the environmental conditions for that cancer to manifest. So we're essentially have identified, this is like 20 years of research and technology that we've licensed from Mount Sinai. And so essentially we're saying the same thing. There's markers that have been identified based off of research, starting as far back as Holocaust survivors and the descendants. So there's also an epigenetic component to it. And also these markers were identified in 9/11 first responders in a research study with them as well.
So is it more that you're identifying the precondition than that you're identifying the post-condition?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And in fact, we're working on both. The reason why I focus right now on predisposition is because that is where the science is right now. However, that partnership we have with the VA is to actually do a prospective clinical study so that we can use it as a diagnostic or IVD. So we're working with that, but I don't want to overspeak until the science actually catches up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very cool. And unfortunately, we're out of time. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Charles, good stuff. I mean, it kind of blows my mind with what he's doing.
It's unbelievable.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yep.
So, all right. So while you're finishing up your last startup here, really appreciate your time here today. Judges, great job. Let's hear a round of applause for all of our judges and our competitors.
Yes. Big round of applause. Thank you everyone for being part of this. And for our audience, don't forget to watch more pitches tomorrow and Wednesday, all leading up to the big top 5 finals and awards ceremony later that day on Wednesday. Don't forget, you can be part of this. Vote for the People's Choice Award at est.us/poll. Make sure you get your votes in. And one of the reasons you are part of this summit is to connect with other people. Let's not forget that. You may be at home, doesn't matter where you are. It's all about connection. There's still time to reach out and network today. So jump into one of those networking spaces and meet at least one new person today before the day is over. Make sure you join in the conversation, share insights, quotes, takeaways, use the hashtag startup of year. And we look forward to hearing from you online.
Yes. Thank you again, judges. Really appreciate your time. Thank you to our sponsors. Before we leave, I want to mention that tomorrow we're kicking off with a great conversation with Kara Golden from Hint Water. She's also the author of a new book just came out recently called Undaunted. And also we've got Zvi Band and Lo Tony and Whitney Johnson, and the list goes on and on. It's a great set of speakers, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So thank you all for being part of the community, and we will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
You better be there.